they say bad writing, and you're like, okay, what elements of it did you not like? And then they never have an answer. It's like, you can't just say bad writing. You have to expand on that. That's not a critique by itself. That's
all these thought terminating terms and phrases like they sacrificing story for wokeness or for agenda or whatever. It's like, what the fuck does that mean, man? How are you weighing this stuff?
It's like you like, are there no stories to be told about gay or black or whatever kind of, like, are there no stories to be told?
All stories have to represent like old white men. That's literally the only story. Old white straight men. That's it. They would rather cast the most old decrepit white man in a role before giving anybody else a spot. They're like, just anybody and everybody. Like this whole thing about RDJ coming back as Dr. Doom, right? So they're losing their minds over it, but at the same time, they don't know how to tackle it because they've been asking for him to come back for ages.
This is what they want.
So, this is what they wanted. So their struggle is, do we support the MCU and Disney because this is obviously a money grab, or do we go back and act as if we never wanted RDJ back in the first place? It's like that button meme where you don't know which one you're pushing. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, they do not have consistency, and they oftentimes have gone back on stuff before. I don't know, Birdman, if you've like seen a lot of their reaction to, for example, when the House of the Dragon came out.
Yeah.
I put that in my, I think I put that in my video where like he changed the the thumbnail or the title.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like they'll just do that, and be absolutely unashamed.
You had the critical drinkers that they actually have a graphic I can show you where it's much more like several of these dudes did the exact same thing at the exact same time as far as like changing their takes.
But like beforehand being like, oh, this is gonna be woke, the Valerians are gonna be black, they hate white people. And then it comes out and everyone likes it, and then they're like, well,
I also don't understand how being something other than this thing means you hate the other one. I never understand that. Like, because you're showing a gay character, you must hate straight characters. Like, what does that even mean? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean,
like when you look at it from the other side, you're showing straight characters, that must mean you hate gay characters.
Right? Exactly.
But they'll never accept that logic. They'll never accept that.
No, it's like it completely goes over their head. If you would ask them that question, it'd be like, what does that mean? Or just like when I questioned, I can't remember who it was, but I questioned somebody in the comments a while ago, where they were saying something about how, what was it? I'm trying to think what video it was. Anyway, they were saying something about like having gay relationships or relationships with any characters, like mixed race relationships and things like that. That's some sort of that's pushing things on people. And I'm like, what does that mean when you see two straight white people together, that's pushing that on people? How can you push something on people, especially when it comes to things like sexuality and race? Like, what is that supposed to tell me? That I'm not supposed to have love because I'm a gay person? Like, I'm not allowed to have a relationship if I can't see it in media? I can only have a straight relationship? Is that the indoctrination? They don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept that their argument is that they just want to make anyone else who is marginalized like more invisible than straight white men. That's and straight relationships in general.
They want to keep minorities.
Yeah,
they
do that because they're scared. They are scared of being treated like minorities. That's why they do that. That's the whole thing. Yeah. There's this white fragility and this white guilt that's so deep inside of them, they can't even look in the mirror and accept it. There's this idea of their heterosexuality that gets challenged by seeing queer people in spaces, and they are worried that if there ever comes a time when they share an equal footing with anybody other than white people, than straight white cisgender people, that they may be treated differently, the same way that they treat all of us. And that is the issue that they have. And they're so afraid of it, it's so deep inside of them, they can't even accept the fact that not everyone is going to react to that situation the same way as them. If they know how minorities are treated, that is why they don't want to be minorities. Point blank, period.
I think that like ties into the whole political aspect, like that they're bringing their right-wing politics into this sort of media discourse.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. And like one of their talking points of the more radical, the more out there people, like let's say like Nick Fuentes, they call it like white genocide.
Yep.
So like just to tie into what you're saying, it's like they think that they're being replaced, or they think that they're being marginalized, or will be treated like people that are currently marginalized.
Literally the great replacement theory, man. That's a white supremacist thing where they think, they're acting like we're the Democrats and the leftists are like bringing in, immigrants and black people to kind of like vote for them or whatever and replacing white people. And then you just kind of like look around. I mean, it doesn't even have to be the really radical people like Fuentes. Just on YouTube, there's YouTubers saying that they're replacing white people in movies and stuff like that. And it's like, it's no different. I don't know if they all know that that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? But
I don't
like,
think so. I think a lot of it's psychological.
You trace it back far enough, and it did come from like V-Dare and shit like that, which is like a white nationalist group.
Diversity.
You can pick up the softback trade paper.
So what now?
Fucking pronoun.
Oh no, we become drifters.
How do you do, fellow kids?